Bert! Get him! Yeah! Ron Babe was right.
I'm feeling spry. Hey everybody, it is the 6th of October. Yeah, and it's still 80 degrees here in Michigan. And this podcast has no intro. How's that? That's a bonus, right? And actually, this podcast really doesn't have a body. Well, I mean, it's got me at the microphone. That's a body. But what I want you to do is try to picture one of the worst things that could ever happen to you and your dog. I'm sure a handful of you have experienced something like this, but I guarantee you not one of my listeners has ever had this exact experience happen to them. And the reason I'm not calling this a podcast is because I got a regular podcast coming out Wednesday with the scheduled guest, and it's going to be very informative. It's going to be a great podcast. But I didn't know if I could do this podcast I shouldn't say any good. I went to another podcaster for help. That's what I did. And the reason being, there's some unanswered questions in this whole ordeal of my trip to North Dakota. It's a crazy, if you believe in miracles, if you believe in angels, if you believe in anything, well, then you'll believe the episode you're going to hear. But it's not going to be on my channel. To hear this episode, you're going to have to go to the Meateater channel. My friend Steve Vernella, many years since he was 18 years old, and most of you know I've been on his show a few times, and we have an old, long relationship. And I reached out to him to tell this story. So it's not that I don't want you to listen to my podcast, and I'll probably talk about this with my patrons this week, but I want you all to tune in to the Meateater Podcast for Tuesday, the 7th, okay? There's going to be a special release podcast. This isn't going to be the regular Monday guest with the whole studio full of people and all that stuff. This is just me and Steve. Because of their format, they're able to throw some pictures up there. If you get a minute to watch it on YouTube, great. If not, the audio will be fine. It's a story that I'm back in my kennel here. I didn't talk about it when I did the episode in North Dakota because, you know that old saying, too soon? But I strongly encourage you, if you want to hear the wildest story of something that could happen to a dog, that you probably will write me and say bullshit, but it's not bullshit. I'm digging a little further into this, and the reason I went to Meateater's podcast was because of the reach. I'm trying to find some other people, not to verify what this podcast that we're going to put out is, but to add something to the story. Possibly somebody that saw something, heard something from a friend, said, you wouldn't believe what I saw on my way to work today. We're actually putting it out on Meateater Podcast because of their reach, so we could complete the story. But it's one hell of a story. And it's called The Hunting Dog That Wouldn't Die. And it comes out tomorrow, Tuesday, the 7th of October. I encourage you to listen to it. Again, I'll do a podcast about it some other day with some other people and maybe some other people that had similar things. Again, no one's had a similar thing happen. Nobody. In fact, I know you're like, Ron, this is worse than your intros. You're just babbling. Well, going on 3 weeks coming up on Thursday, I feel like I still am babbling. And that's all I'm going to tell you. If you want to hear this story before I do it someday with some other guests, You're going to have to listen to the Meateater Podcast tomorrow. And no, I'm not joining the Meat. They don't own this. They didn't make me an offer. This was something I reached out to Steve about just because of his audience, because I'm looking for just 1 or 2 more pieces of the puzzle. This will become subject matter for campfires and hunting camps for decades to come. I know, it sounds like, Ron, please, just tell us what it is. Just listen to tomorrow's podcast. We recorded it last Friday. I had as much up-to-date information as I could have on it. And we're looking for a little more information. So it could be you. But you got to listen to it tomorrow. Anyway, the next podcast out with my normal long intros and all the other stuff will come out on Wednesday. And that's the way it is. Let me know if you get this, and I will. I'm looking for any kind of help, but the story was best told the way I told it. I love you guys. I love you girls. Don't forget to listen to Meateater's Podcast on Tuesday.